Good day, ma'am. I am Mandap Janice T. from BE Ed 2A, and I'm going to discuss the Science K-12 framework. The science framework in the K-12. Science as a whole as provided by the National Framework of the Depth and Response to the 21st Century Literacy, which is the science and technological literacy. It involves three important components. The first one is understanding and applying scientific knowledge. The second one is developing and demonstrating scientific attitude and values. The third one is demonstrating scientific inquiry skills. Understanding and applying scientific knowledge is not absolute or certain. Knowledge including facts, theories, and laws is all tentative and subject to change due to evidence brought about by the advances in theory. And technology science knowledge is also socially, culturally embedded. Developing and demonstrating scientific attitude and values. A scientific attitude can be defined as a way of viewing things, a curiosity to know how and why things happen with an open mind to govern facts. It's a way of thinking, feeling, acting, and disposition towards science. Attitude can be positive or negative. Scientific attitudes are often attributed to characteristics of scientists, but learners also develop scientific attitudes. Here are some scientific attitudes: curiosity, humility, open-mindedness, intellectual honesty, perseverance, skepticism, creative and innovative, rational and objectivity. The next approach is performing scientific inquiry skills. A science-oriented mind is a questioning mind. It focuses on psychomotor, because the word performing is a set of skills to be learned by the students. Foundations of scientific and technological literacy. Approaches, models, and practices to be used in the framework. Based on the framework, there are dominant approaches, models, and practices that can be utilized in teaching and learning in science. Number 1. Multidisciplinary approach. Relationships and interactions of different disciplines like science and mathematics. So, it is the use of two or more subject areas in one lesson or activity. Number 2. Science Technology Society approach. It is the one way to appreciate science is to link with the technology and how it influences people and their ways of life. Problem Issue Based Learning or PBL. It is the making use of the identified problem or issue surrounding the environment to make more meaning in learning science. Inquiry-based approach. The basic principle of inquiry-based approach for the learners to take ownership of a problem or a need and desire to solve it. 6. Constructivism. Constructivist teaching is based on the belief that learning occurs as learners are actively involved in the process of meaning and knowledge. Social cognition learning model. It is being introduced by Lev Vygotsky. Learning can be directed to observing others while interacting and experiencing. Learning style theory. This is the premise of the learning style theory that each individual has a preference in how they learn. The most accepted understanding of the learning style fall into three categories. Number 1, visual learners. Sila yung mas gustong matuto through images, maps, graphic organizers, etc. The number 2 is auditory and oral. Sila yung mas prefer yung speaking, listening, mnemonic devices, repetition, music, and discussion. And the third one is kinesthetic. Sila naman yung mas prefer ang pag-touch, move, manipulate, hands-on activities, and practicum. Letter D. Informed decision maker. We need to help the child on how he or she could be able to learn independently, because allowing an individual to decide by his or her own, therefore they could be able to take their own responsibility or take risk. Letter E. Effective communicator. Of course, communication is the key. Effective communication will have a ripple effect on the relationship inside the classroom. That's why we need to have a communication